Good morning and thank you for joining us. Today I will give you some highlights on Mediobanca's results for the 3 months ended 31st March 2026. The quarter was marked by a challenging macroeconomic and geopolitical environment, with renewed inflationary pressures linked to energy and commodity prices, and a correction in financial markets during March. Against this backdrop, we closed the quarter with a gross operating profit above 550 million euro, up 14% Q-on-Q and 4% year-on-year. Our results clearly demonstrate the operational resilience of the group, our ability to react quickly to changing conditions, and the strength of our diversified business model. They also reflect the daily commitment of Mediobanca people who are every day close to our clients and the discipline maintained during this transition phase. In the meantime, we remain fully focused on the integration process with our colleague of Banca Monte dei Paschi. Operational activity remains solid across the group, and first synergies coming from larger distribution of Mediobanca products on BMPS franchise are now evident in corporate and investment banking, consumer finance and asset management. Customer loans increased to 55 billion euro, up 5% year-on-year, driven by continued growth in consumer finance and by the expansion of corporate lending. Total financial assets amounted to 113 billion euro, up 4% year-on-year, while declining by 2% Q-on-Q. These are resilient results considering the market volatility scenario and our transitional period. Moving to the income statement. Revenues reached almost 940 million euro, increasing 5% Q-on-Q and 3% year-on-year, supported by the solid progression of consumer finance, the recovery of corporate and investment banking in the last quarter, and the strong contribution from insurance. These effects more than offset the temporary slowdown in wealth management. At the same time, costs declined by 6% Q-on-Q, reflecting strict cost discipline. As a result, gross operating profit rose above 550 million euro, while net profit above 320 million euro, showing a sharp recovery compared with the previous quarter, despite a higher tax rate and some negative non-recurring items. Cost of risk remained under control at 53 basis points, with approximately 116 million euro of overlays still available, providing a solid buffer in the current macroeconomic environment. Profitability stood at 13.5%, confirming the quality and sustainability of our earnings. CET1 ratio stood at 15.7%, reflecting full profit distribution, organic RWA growth, and valuation effects, while remaining well above regulatory requirements. Coming to divisional results. Wealth management went through a temporary phase of transition during the quarter, influenced by market volatility and the effects of earlier banker departures. However, the franchise is showing progressive stabilization, supported by target retention measures. Revenues amounted to almost 220 million euro, down compared with both the previous quarter and last year, due to reduced upfront activity and the absence of performance fees. That said, management fees remain resilient, growing 8% year-on-year, and costs declined materially, allowing the division to deliver a net profit slightly below 40 million euros. The Premier platform remained resilient, while asset management recorded positive contributions, supported by the first placement of Mediobanca SGR products through the MPS network. Corporate and investment banking delivered a clear recovery in the quarter. Revenues reached 220 million euros, up 17% Q-on-Q and broadly in line with last year, supported by improved performance across all business areas, advisory, lending and markets. Advisory activity benefit from a recovery in domestic and European transactions, while ECM and DCM returned to more normal levels. Markets activity was strong, supported by market volatility and the launch of structured product cross-selling with the MPS network. Costs declined significantly compared with the previous quarter, and asset quality remained excellent, confirming the resilience and the flexibility of the franchise. Consumer finance, once again, confirmed its role as a key earning engine for the group. New loan production reached 2.6 billion euro, increasing 10% year-on-year with strong growth across personal loans, salary-backed lending, auto finance and buy now pay later. This momentum supported loan book growth to 17 billion euro, up 8% year-on-year and translated into revenues approximately 330 million euro with an increase of 5% year-on-year. Net interest income continued to expand, driven by higher volumes and resilient pricing. Cost decline and efficiency remain excellent. Quarterly net profit was slightly higher than 100 million euro. The insurance division delivered another strong contribution, with net profit of approximately 130 million euro, up 20% year-on-year, driven by solid performance of Assicurazioni Generali. Looking ahead, while remaining cautious given the uncertain macroeconomic environment, we expect a solid momentum in consumer finance and in corporate and investment banking, with a progressive stabilization of wealth management supporting the performance over the coming quarters, with a strict discipline on cost and risk. In conclusion, our diversified model, strong franchises and disciplined execution remain key strengths as we move forward. In this journey, I'm increasingly convinced that the distinctive skills of Mediobanca people and an 8-year history supporting the economic system will contribute to generating value for all stakeholders. Thank you for your attention.